My name is Chimi.
Hello, my name is Chaten.
And we jointly conducted the research on the topic assessments of meat that include beef, pork, chicken and fish and its supply and distribution in Bhutan. It was very challenging for us to cover the entire meat supply and distribution system in the country at a given time. However, we tried our best to study the whole supply and distribution pattern of imported and domestic meat production.
In this regard, we first try to identify the current issues in the existing meat supply and distribution system. The first issue was a considerable quantity of meat is being imported currently and only a small quantity is being supplied domestically. Domestic supply system is constantly challenged by religious perception and social stigma. The second issue was the lack of cold chain facilities and storage infrastructure across the distribution points. The third issue we have listed was the poor linkages between the facilitators, producers and other value chain actors across the continent.
The objective of our study is to document the current meat supply and distribution pattern in the country and to recommend and suggest a possible strategic intervention to optimize and enhance the efficiency of the current meat supply and distribution system. For the primary data, we collected the required information by floating open-ended questionnaire through emails of regional BAFRA officials, and we validated 80 meat vendors randomly through phone calls and face-to-face interview with the nearby meat vendors. And the secondary data was obtained from Bhutan Trade Statistic and Bhutan Livestock Statistic. And finally, the data was used to assess the import and domestic production status in the country. You used MS Excel to analyze the data and QGIS to map the study area. Now we would like to present our result of the study. Our first result is on the classifications of meat shops. The study recorded 285 meat shops across the country and 357 meat license holder. The highest was recorded in Thimphu with 74 meat shops and least at Gasa district. And the ethnicity of meat vendors. The study indicated that 84% of the meat vendors are Lhotsompa and only 16% as Ngalops and Chachops. The gender involvement. Out of 285 meat vendors, 63% are represented by male and 38% are represented by female meat vendors. This indicates that women are also involved in the meat business. Now I'd like to talk about the trend of meat shop establishment in the country. The former meat shops were established in 1990s. Currently, 357 meat licenses have been issued. However, not all of them are operational. From 2016 to 2019, there has been a rapid increase in meat shops. In 2019, 57 meat licenses were issued and recorded as highest issuance over the years. The fifth result is on meat production, supply and distribution patterns in the country. From 2016 to 2020, the country imported 32,921 metric tons of meat, which included beef, pork, chicken and fish. On the other hand, domestic production was merely 16,536.8 metric tons. The study shows that the demand for the beef was recorded highest among the other meats. The sixth result is on the trend of monthly meat import. The study found that meats are heavily imported before the auspicious month of March and May, the Sagatau and Chotiltau. Also during the winter month, because of favorable temperature and good road conditions. Moreover, in Bhutanese setting, the most of the events and festivals such as New Year celebrations, annual rituals, family reunion happens during the winter season.
Now I would like to present the seventh result that's on meat supply and distribution channel. There are numerous actors involved in the country's meat supply and distribution system. The meat supply chain includes producer, wholesaler, middleman, retailer and consumer. On the import side, there are 11 wholesalers based in Phinsiling and Thimphu. Mandala, Bai Bai, Shangri-La, and RKS are some of the meat distributors in the country. Due to limited time, we could not contact all the meat distributors. However, we interviewed Bai Bai Enterprise, and he told that meats were procured from Calcutta, Maharashtra, Karnataka, and Delhi. On the other hand, the involvement of middlemen and processor was the only difference observed in the domestic supply and distribution system. On the end result, the per capita consumption of meat was calculated based on domestic and import figures of last 5 years maintained with Bhutan trade statistics and Bhutan livestock statistics. Over the past 2 years, from 2016 to 18, the per capita consumption remains relatively same with the per capita consumption per person of 13.5 kilograms in 2015. However, there observed a slight increase in per capita consumption of meat from 2018 to 19. This could be due to improved living standard, urbanization, and people's aware of health benefits of consuming meat. The last result is on meat prices. The study also documented the meat prices across the country. Unlike import prices of the meats, the local meat prices varied within the districts. The meat prices in the given table were the maximum prices recorded in the particular districts. Finally, we would like to provide recommendations of our study. The study found that compared to other meats, beef is the most preferred meat by the Bhutanese. Therefore, it is recommended to strengthen the organization's role to ensure quality and safe beef consumption. On top, there is urgent need to realign the existing import policy to get quality and safe beef at a reasonable price in the country. The second recommendation we have is the study foresee an opportunity to establish meat processing plant at the southern districts to produce hygienic meat. In this regard, government should prioritize the support service focusing on youth, school dropouts, and interested farmer with full packages, including leasing of lands until the establishment of farm with the assured market. This will also supplement an import quantity and also address certain level of unemployment issues in the country. The third recommendation we have is the need of cold chain facilities across the country for the freshness and quality meat. In this regard, storage infrastructure at farm level needs special attention to strengthen the issue of spoilage and poor quality meat. In addition, strong coordination and collaboration among the facilitators, producer, and other meat value chain actors to avoid the loss and wastage of products.